Hi and welcome to the Stitching Diaries with iHanna. I'm iHanna and this is my desk and I'm going to make a super cute world's sweetest needle book today. It's an easy project that anyone can do that's interested in doing or learning some hand stitching, and I thought in this video I'll share some of what I made and how my decisions came to be. In my last video I got sidetracked by my grandmother's sewing box, and that's a video that you can check out in case you're curious on what's inside this box. But today we're starting to sew the world's sweetest needle book, which is a free pattern from Anne Wood and it's available on her blog. I printed my templates and they look like this. 3 pieces that are folded together and makes a little book. Then inside I'm going to make a heart, just as it's explained in her blog post. So this video was actually, I'm a bit embarrassed to say, started to film when this pattern came out about 5 years ago, and I'm editing it now and putting it together and making a little voiceover because I have a lot of footage with me stitching and talking and doing some embellishment in the last video, so I hope you'll want to come along even though the editing of this video is so late. And it took me quite a bit of time because in the meantime, while making this needle book, I lost the pieces and couldn't finish. So, I mean, that's how crazy my stitching mess is, I guess. In case you want to sew along, I will link Anne's pattern, her blog posts, and my own blog post. A needle book is just a little place where you park your needles when you're not stitching, so it's an essential in your little sewing kit, or if you're an embroiderer you also need one, and having some pretty ones that you made yourself makes all the difference when you're making some hand stitching, I think. So this is the piece of fabric. It's an old tablecloth that had some holes and rips that I decided to use for my needle book cover. So thank you, Grandma, for saving this piece of fabric all those years and leaving it to me to do something with. I'm definitely going to make some pages for a textile art book as well from this fabric, because I love making those these days. And I'll show you a little bit more about that process in upcoming videos perhaps, but for now we're making a little needle book. So you need some fabric, a couple of needles to pin your fabric in place. I'm cutting this 2 pieces at the same time because that's working for me right now. I'm just pinning it down and then I'm going to be cutting all around. As you can see on the pattern pieces, the seam allowance is included, which I love because it makes the guesstimating and trial and error kept to a minimum. So you just cut along the real edge and not the imaginary seam allowance edge a bit outside. I love that. Because I mean, I'm not a professional seamstress or anything like that. Even my scissors have been used for papers here, but these are sharp enough to cut through fabric still, so I'm using those. Anne really loves her vintage looking fabrics and browns and reds, and those she uses in most of her projects, I think. For me, I'm a fan of more bright colors and pinks, but also the vintage fabric scrappy look, so that's why I was drawn to this pattern. And I think because she was using such worn, beautiful fabrics, that's why I got the idea to look into my grandma's sewing box and find these a bit older and older fabrics that just felt perfect for this project. They're super soft already and nice to touch, which is something is really important when you're doing hand stitching, that you like to hold your fabric and handle it. So I'm going to be embellished mine with some different little bits, and now I'm going to be talking a bit about where we are in the process in the moment. So I've just cut out some pieces to do the like patchwork decorating. It's actually just for decorative purposes right now. So I've started this one, and all you do is just put it down and you turn in the edge as much or as little as you want to. Just let me fix the corner like that. And my stitching all-time idol, who does beautiful patchwork embroidery, is called Jude Hill. She is in New York State, and I've been following her blog for many years, and she's made online workshops, and she does the most amazing stitches, and I could listen to her talk about her hand stitching and her thoughts on what they mean to her all day. And I think she would have said to me that this is turned applique. So you're turning in the edge instead of doing the raw edge applique. So this won't fray. This will look pretty even after washing in the machine, maybe. Although probably this will never be machine washed. I just like the look of it, and I enjoy stitching by hand, and I enjoy the look of it. I am by no means like a professional stitcher or embroiderer, but I do love it. And I do love the look of not too even stitches. So if I really put my mind to it, I could probably do them more even. I could do them more hidden. In fact, I did the other piece. Let me show you already. And these stitches are smaller than these ones. I just changed the look of it. And this is also turned applique. It's not a patch ready-made. It's just a piece from a strawberry fabric that I cut out one strawberry and added it into, because I've been obsessing about strawberries. Here you can see these have been kindly donated, or as Mom would say, stolen from Mom's stash of cute fabrics. She has too much anyway, so why not? So maybe I'll add this one somewhere else. But this is supposed to be the biggest piece, so this is the outside front, and I'm going to sew the ribbon when I add the back side, and then you're gonna see it when you turn it. And I saw that Anne had done like a spine on hers, because this is where it will be folded. Let me see, like so. Ta-da! So it's this is also from Mom's stash. This has lighter pink stripes, and it's one of those fabrics that really has been used, so I can't really use it on something that will be used a lot or washed. So I thought this surface won't be, and even if it does break, I will mend it with another patch in a few years, so it's all good. If you want to do this project, this is not a tutorial, by the way, and I have the permission to share my process from the pattern maker, Anne. So she was so kind to say that it was okay to share this, and I think you should go visit her blog. I will link it below, of course, and in my blog post, and share. I've already shared it on Twitter twice, I think, because I think it's so cute and her images are so darling. Anyway, while I have you here, let's try the buttonhole stitch. I think it's called. So I'm bringing out a little bit bigger needle, the embroidery floss, no idea what size, but it has a nice color that I like, and this is how she did it. I'm doing it like she did. She did it. So let's see. I'm going to use this as the back side for that one, so let's move that one and see. I could have just stitched this in place, but I wanted to quickly do that, and let's see if I can. I'm not really friend with this stitch, and I'm not sure I remember. Let's do a small one here. That won't be visible once we sew this together, so it's a good one to start with because it doesn't have to be perfect. Anyway, like that, you stitch a little L, and then you go here and up, and then you do like that. So these are supposed to be straight up, and these are supposed to be horizontal. So maybe we can actually hide my little sewing thread stitches, and voila, that is how you do the buttonhole stitch. And you have to be really careful not to just let this be too loose, because it will not look good, and just carefully pull so that this is taut and this is taut. That's okay, because when you pull it this way and fasten it here, it will look awesome. So, isn't it awesome? It's gonna be so cute. I don't want to do it on all patches and all things, but I'll do it here, and we'll see if I do it around the edges, because I know Anne did. And I want to be Anne. Never mind that. Yeah, so I'm gonna put something on, probably something on YouTube, and watch it and keep stitching. As a matter of fact, I really hope you're stitching along with me, because that would be a delight to me to know that you're stitching and thinking about the cloth and making a plan for your next project, perhaps. I mean, sometimes we watch videos because we're tired, and sometimes we need some inspiration, but it's also nice to craft along, I think. So this is the back side, and Just to prove a point, I stitched the two sides together by hand. I have a sewing machine, but I just couldn't be bothered, and I also wanted to try to hand sew these two pieces together to see how it worked out. I did add in a little piece of fake felt in between those pieces, but I actually think it's too thick, so I wish I hadn't. You'll see in the end how I solved that problem. But since I love pink and green, I'm going to be adding some more little scrap bits to this. This is the inside, the second page, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to be using one of my favorite things when it comes to embroidery, which is this ombre variegated thread. I love stitching with different colors, so when I do that, when I can do that and have the same thread, I'm just a happy girl. This is one of my favorites. It's a bit like silk. I think it's just cotton, but it's still very soft and nice. So I'm making a knot by just pulling. I mean, the knot doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to secure the thread to the back of your fabric piece to make sure it doesn't pull through on the first couple of stitches. And then I'm going to add my buttonhole stitch to this green fabric as well, because once you get into it, it's really hard to stop stitching a specific stitch. It's just so calming and comforting. Whatever you're having on in the background, if it's me, I'm happy about that. If it's something else, just keep on stitching and making little progress over time. So this video is about to end. In the last part of this series, which is 3 parts, so my next video I will show you some more about how I embellish, choose a ribbon and a closure, sew on the button, and finish the little needle book, which is called the Sweetest needle book in the world. And it's not my idea to name it that, but maybe it will turn out to be the sweetest one. You be the judge. If you like what you've seen so far, please give this video a thumbs up and a comment if you want to see the next part, and be the judge if this becomes the sweetest needle book in the entirety of the world. You can watch my next video and let me know. So please make sure you're subscribed, and thank you so much for watching the Stitching Diaries with iHanna and giving it a thumbs up. Bye for now.